We now have 7 p.m. Welcome to the October 4th, 2022 Richmond Hill City Council meeting. We will begin with an invocation by Councilmember Cox, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance led by Councilmember Scholar.
Let me pray. Dear Heavenly Father, God, we just come before you and thank you for this time that you've given us. Lord, we just pray that you direct our hearts, our minds, and our attention to everything that's on this agenda, God, and that you would allow us to make decisions based on discernment and your will. We ask that you be with each person that's here tonight, God, and we each go leave this meeting and go our separate ways to keep us safe and bring us back to our families and then bring us back to our appointed place tomorrow. In your precious son's name we pray. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. First item of business, we need to approve the agenda. Council, is there a motion to approve? Motion to approve the agenda by Councilmember Cox. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Councilmember Scholar. All in favor? Motion carries. Next, we need to approve the consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Motion to approve by Councilmember Fussell. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Councilmember Ward. All in favor? The motion carries. Next up, Planning and Zoning Director Randy Dykes.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. First item we have tonight, we'll need to go into the Board of Zoning Appeals.
We are now in a Board of Zoning Appeals.
First item is a petition has been filed with the City of Richmond Hill by Jimmy Summers requesting a variance to Article 6 of the Unified Development Ordinance, Table 6-3, minimum side setbacks, maximum units per building, and minimum separation between buildings for a townhome development to be located at 2589 Harris Trail Road. Property is zoned R3, moderate density residential district. So this is the project that's been before you before, where they had the dead end T and they readjusted the plan to loop the road. And in order to do that, there was 3 variances that they're having to request. And in your packet, you'll see a drawing that shows the 3 variances. One's the side setback from the requirement of 20 feet to 10 feet. They need a variance on the minimum building separation from 40 to 20 feet. And they need a variance on the maximum units per building from 5 to 6.
Is there anyone here to speak for or against this request? Hearing none, I close the public hearing.
So the first item we have is the variance. It's approval, disapproval of the petition filed with the City of Richmond Hill by Jimmy Summers requesting a variance to Article 6 of the Unified Development Ordinance, Table 6-3, minimum side setbacks, maximum units per building, and a minimum separation between buildings for a townhome development to be located at 2589 Harris Trail Road. Property is zoned R3, moderate density residential district.
Councilmember Ward will be recusing himself from this vote. Council, do you have any questions or concerns? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve or disapprove?
Make a motion we approve the variance as stated.
Motion to approve by Councilmember Scholar. Is there a second? Second by Councilmember Cox. All in favor? The motion carries.
Right now we're out of the Board of Zoning Appeals, back to regular council. First item we have is the ARB Planning Commission verbal report. The ARB had a regular scheduled meeting on September 15th, but we had to cancel it because of lack of quorum. And so then they called a special called meeting for September 27th. They had 2 items. One was approval of a new sign for Bryan County Farm Bureau. They approved that. The other item was an approval for building elevations for Boat Cook Realty to be located at 21 Forest Street, where the blue concrete building is, where they used to sell the seafood, and also the house behind it. So they approved the building elevations for both. The Planning Commission met on September 12th, and they approved building elevations and site plans for a car wash, Shine and Go, to be located at the old Burger King site by Quality Inn. They also recommended approval on a preliminary plat that you'll be voting on tonight for Pulte Group, Heartwood, Pod 6, Phases 1 and 2. On September 26th, they met, and they approved site plan and building elevations for Anatola Capital out at Belfast Commerce Center. It's a warehouse development out there. And they recommended approval on a preliminary plat for Tim Casey that you'll have before you tonight. And they also recommended approval on a preliminary plat for Coleman Company for Belfast parcel 17A-1 that you'll have tonight. So the first item under City Council items is the approval, disapproval of the preliminary plat submitted by Jimmy Summers for a townhome development to be located at 2589 Harris Trail Road, map and parcel 055-056. So this item goes with the variance that y'all just approved. And you'll see in your packet a copy of the revised preliminary plat. They show an area on there for a playground. They show an area on there for a covered bus stop. They have multiple common areas in there also, and they also have looped the road.
I see they've got some picnic tables on Seagrave Boulevard.
So they have representatives here tonight if y'all have any questions.
Council, any questions?
Just a comment, I want to thank those fellows for getting my voice to you about the playground and picnic tables. Thank you very much.
Council, any other questions or comments? Is there a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion, we approve the preliminary plat.
Motion to approve by Councilmember Scholar. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Councilmember Fussell. All in favor? The motion carries.
Item number 2 is the approval, disapproval of the preliminary plat submitted by Coleman Company for Heartwood parcel 17A-1 to be located off Belfast Keller Road, being a portion of map and parcel number 049-016. So in your package, you'll see a copy of the plat. You also have there's a map in there that shows you the area where it's located on Belfast Keller. And this is the site that Navarre is going to be building the multi-family. It's kind of halfway between Outfitter Center and the new high school.
Council, any questions or comments, concerns?
There are representatives here if you have any questions.
Let me just ask the preliminary plan. This one we're,
There's a circle.
Right. Yeah.
That's kind of the overall, kind of gives you a vicinity.
I understand that, but with the plat, there is no designation of any roadways, buildings, or anything.
It's just under the flat.
So I want to make sure there is something conflicted here. I want to make sure that's not what we're
No,
approving.
that's just your vicinity map to show you where it's located.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Council, any other questions? Is there a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Councilmember Fussell. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Councilmember Ward. All in favor? The motion carries.
All right, the next item is approval, disapproval of the preliminary plat submitted by Pulte Group for Heartwood, Pod 6, Phases 1 and 2 to be located off Belfast Keller Road, a portion of map and parcel number 049-016. Same area, this portion is actually between the one you just approved and the high school. And it's Phases 1 and 2 of a single family project.
Council, any questions, concerns, comments? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Councilmember Ward. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Councilmember Fussell. All in favor? The motion carries.
Item number 4 is approval, disapproval of the preliminary plat submitted by Tim Casey for a subdivision to lot 16 in Ford Park of Commerce, map and parcel 046-068. So everybody's familiar with the Ford Park of Commerce, that's where the YMCA is located. So if you go all the way down to the end of that road, right before the cul-de-sac on the right, there's a rather large lot. And he's looking to subdivide it into 4 lots. Kind of similar to what's been done previously, and there was some other larger lots. He is here tonight if y'all have any questions.
What size of the lots, 1 acre to, I think the next one's like 2.69. The smallest is like 1.09.
Council, any other questions?
It looked like on the map that we saw there's like a long driveway to get to the back lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that was the flag.
I just don't see it on this map, I just wanna make sure.
Yes.
And that's an access easement?
Sorry?
That's an access easement to that back?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 40 foot.
Council, any other questions, concerns, comments? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve? Motion to approve by Councilmember Cox. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Councilmember Ward. All in favor? The motion carries.
All right, the last item we have for you is the second reading and approval, disapproval of the petition filed with the City of Richmond Hill by Amit Patel requesting a master plan revision to the Richmond Hill Plantation PUD, map and parcels 054-08211, 054-08212, and 054-08201. So this is the portion right across from the main gate to the Ford Field and River Club, where they propose to change it, the master plan from all commercial to mixed use in there, senior living, sort of like Magnolia Manor on the left, out parcels out front for commercial, and then a big box type commercial behind that. We've met previously a few times and talked about it, and representatives are here tonight if you have any more questions about it.
Sandy, let me ask you a question. Remember back in the day when they first formed plantation out there, we got into a bit of a bind because it sold over and over and stuff over the subsequent buyers to that. I'm going to assume that if they say they're not going to put certain kind of developments in there, if that was to be sold, that would be sold subject to those.
Yeah, anything different would have to come back through the same process to have another master plan.
We've not had much in the way of feedback from the Ford River plantation.
No, Gil, somebody will let you come up and speak on that. I know y'all met with them, but we haven't had any calls.
Just state your name, please.
Mayor, members of council, I'm Jim Collins with Thomas and Hutton, and with me is Bill Dempsey, who's a land planner for the project. We did meet with the representatives of the Ford Field and River Club and took into consideration some of their comments, as well as the Creekside community to the rear of the project.
Council, any questions?
Do they have any comments about signage or anything like that? Or?
They did, and we included some signage and landscaping with the PUD over beyond what was required.
And our buffers, our required buffers in the front, everything's set there. What will tie the senior citizen, or what will enforce the senior citizens designation for the multifamily?
It'll be deed restricted to 55 and over.
It's also listed in the
Okay.
And those are going to be rental units in the seniors?
Rental or for
It
sale.
could be either one.
We don't have any user lined up at present.
Council, any other questions or concerns? Thank you.
Thank you.
Hearing no other questions, do you have any other questions for Randy regarding this request? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve?
Make a motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Councilmember Scholar. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Councilmember Ward. All in favor? The motion carries.
That's all I have for tonight.
Thank you, Randy. No new business. Communications. City manager, filling in for the city manager is Nathan Clark. Chris Lovell is not here, and we certainly miss him.
We do.
Yes.
Sure.
But we're glad you're here, Nathan.
Well, thank you. Good to be here.
Seriously, we don't really miss Chris, but anyway.
We got three items under the city manager report tonight. The first for your approval or disapproval is to award the Ponderosa Road Improvement and Resurfacing bid project to Pittman Engineering. They were the low bidder, coming in at $34,700. You had three bidders in total. EOM and Planning and Zoning reviewed applications and submitted for completeness, thoroughness, et cetera. And Pittman has been chosen as the low bid.
Do you have any idea why the disparity is in the bid? The low one was 34,000, the high one was 113. It's like almost 3 times.
It is, I probably can't weigh in on this one, not knowing the parties and being my, still my second month here. I will say that sometimes smaller firms, based on my experience that are local and familiar with the area, do have a competitive advantage, both kind of scale and familiarity, and can result in difference. That's just conjecture on my part. But like I said, EOM and Randy with Planning and Zoning reviewed the all submission packets for completeness and thoroughness, and felt that Pittman, regardless of price, can do the job, and look forward to working with him.
Thank you.
Council, any other questions? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve the.
Why don't you second, Les, why don't you second it? Chrissy beat you to it.
Oh, did she?
Yes.
I can't hear.
Motion to approve made by Councilmember Cox. I think there is a second from Councilmember Fussell.
Yes.
We have a motion and a second. Is
Not using her microphone, I'm sorry.
all in favor? The motion carries.
Second item is for walking trail improvements at Gregory Park. We completed the first phase of this project on the left-hand side of the park closest to Mulberry with some pretty splendid results. The other 2/3 of the park needs a similar work. Parker Properties LLC was the low bid at $39,650 to complete the walking trail improvements to JF Gregory.
Council, any questions or concerns? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve?
Make a motion to approve.
And I don't have a speech to go with.
Motion to approve by Councilmember Fussell. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Councilmember Cox. All in favor? Everybody's eager to do their job tonight. And lastly, obviously, Nathan will announce this, and we have Captain Fowler here to answer any questions we may have. Nathan?
Absolutely. This is a late addition to the agenda at the board's workshop. Last month, the police department, Captain Fowler, presented you all the needs of the department, kind of explained some of the shortcomings of this year as far as the vehicle ordering process goes. Ford canceled 2 of our F-150 emergency responder units, so that's leaving the police department short on vehicles. They brought this to your attention. Captain Fowler went to work trying to find the best vehicles for the best price that meets the needs of the community, as well as the police department. They have come back and found 5 Chevy Tahoes to be ordered at a cost of $38,138 each, for a total expenditure of $190,337. We do not have an estimated time delivery for those vehicles. However, GM does guarantee the build of the vehicle, which is kind of an important factor in determining the Chevy Tahoe as opposed to a Ford product. Ford does not guarantee the build once you order those. And again, Captain Fowler's here. He did a lot of the legwork on that. I'm just kind of doing the high notes. If he's got anything to add, or if you all have anything to add as well, or ask questions.
Nathan, I think the only thing I'll add is, unless my figures are wrong, 5 times 38,138 is 196.90, not 193.37. So it's not much of a difference, but I think it should be 196.90.
Council, let's note that, and Steve, what's the exact amount, please?
$190,690.
That's correct.
Council, let's note that agenda change as you make the motion to approve or disapprove. Council, are there any other questions? Is there a motion to approve?
Just kidding.
Is there a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Councilmember.
196,690.
Motion to approve made by Councilmember Fussell. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Councilmember Ward. All in favor? Motion carries. Council, any other items you would like to bring up or anything you need would like to discuss? Chrissy has reminded me of two things. Thanking the public for their patience with the repairs of the railroad and the Harris Trail traffic. We were a patient community for the most part. And I would also like to thank Richmond Hill Police Department for their extra hours they put in directing traffic. Many hours last week that they put in for that. And our firefighters have been doing an exemplary job. We've had 2 major fires in 1 week, and they showed to be the true testament to public service that they are. So we thank them for that as well. And of course, nobody should forget the Seafood Festival coming up October 14th, 15th, and 16th. And that always, as I say, puts Richmond Hill on the map. Hearing no other business, is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn by Councilmember Ward. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Councilmember Scholar. All in favor? Motion carries. Thank you for coming. We are adjourned.